Number 5's the biggie,
Oh
Norm.
yeah, throwing your money away on rent.
And that's coming in at a whopping 35% on housing.
We saw a report out about retirement household expenses in the US. It was done by the Bureau of Labor. Stats Surveys of Consumer Finance was the name of the report in September 2022. We thought it'd be interesting to discuss this, Tim, because we have a huge amount of American viewers.
Yes.
And Canada does mimic America an awful lot.
Yes.
So some of these percentages will be useful in Canada as well. And it gives an idea of where our money goes in retirement. Well, Tim, got my Aerosmith t-shirt on.
I see that. It looks very nice, Norm.
Now, I just want to say one thing about it. I like the t-shirt. I like the music. We do not endorse any of the behaviour of any of the band members. We're just purely into the music, and we love Boston as well. We've been there many, many times.
Oh, we love Boston, don't we? Yeah.
So these are all retirement income breakdowns per month on an average income of
$4,345 per month. So the numbers that we're actually going to be talking about here actually add up to where does 80% of that income go?
And we're assuming the other 20%, which is not mentioned in the report,
No.
is probably things for clothes, discretionary income such as gifts,
Yeah.
and miscellaneous expenses.
Yeah.
So let's kick off with number 1, Teen. What do we have?
We have 6% on entertainment, and that comes out to be $241 per month.
So that could either be high or low.
Yeah.
We have a sneaking suspicion that that's on the low side because people have stopped going out to restaurants as much as they used to pre-pandemic. We know from our friends and our particular habits that we have more takeout food, more cooking at home.
Yeah.
So that could be one of the things. Also, cinema tickets are getting very expensive.
Yes, they are. So actually that maybe doesn't surprise us that much, does it?
And that leads us to NordVPN, who are the sponsors of this video today. And we now never log onto a public Wi-Fi without first opening up NordVPN either on our phone or tablet, because there's a concerted effort now targeting retired people for scams.
Yeah.
You see it everywhere, from Facebook Marketplace, where people are using Interact to dupe you.
Yeah.
You don't know on a public Wi-Fi if there's somebody close by, and they're sneaky. They have all this set up that they're trying to hack you. And all that they're after is your personal details, steal your identity. And we never thought anybody would do stuff like this, but we're hearing about more and more people. And NordVPN can protect you from that because they scramble your signal. It's no longer a man in the middle can attack you because they can't access your data because it's being encrypted and it's being sent through different servers. So we love NordVPN. We use it all the time when we're not on our private network at home.
And I think one of the things that I love using NordVPN, Norm, is that we can have so many devices on it. So when we're traveling, we can have the iPads and cell phones. You can have up to 6 devices on it. And I feel a lot more secure.
And there are so many features of NordVPN that you can adjust where you are in the world virtually. So if you want to see content on a different network on your TV, you can do that quite easily.
And also they have a 30-day money-back guarantee. And if you click on our link there, you'll get lots of great offers.
So thanks NordVPN for sponsoring our video today. So number 2 is double that, 12% for food. And that works out at $540 per month. And it does, we're probably around that.
Yeah. It's maybe we kind of thought that you might spend a little more than that sometimes, especially if you visit Costco or something.
Right, and you have ready prepared meals for
Yeah.
convenience, possibly. The one thing to bear in mind, and this is what we always do, we have a shopping list, and we are focused on getting what we want, because we realize there is a huge amount of food wastage. How many times have you brought something home like celery, and
Yeah.
before you get to use it all, it's gone soft? So what we do with celery is we wrap it up in tin foil, put it in the fridge, and it lasts forever.
That's one of those secrets, isn't it, Norm?
Don't tell anybody.
But you know what? This report says that people throw out 30 to 40% of all the food that they actually buy. So everybody is overbuying on the sort of, if you buy cold meats instead of buy a smaller amount instead of a huge amount. We were quite surprised that just how much people apparently throw away.
Yeah, it's something, and you
Yeah.
could trim your food budgets
Yeah.
radically just by reducing your food wastage or not overbuying.
Yeah.
Don't be fooled by all these impulse sales that you see in the supermarkets, especially near the checkouts.
And maybe the other idea, Norm, is to go shopping more often and don't buy quite as much, because I think that's this.
We tend to do
yeah,
that, and then
we do.
it gives us 2 or 3 chances to
Yeah.
go to the supermarket in a week
Yeah.
and see what the markdowns are, because we're great at buying
Ooh, yeah,
the half-price meat,
The specials,
the
hey?
specials, the manager specials. Number 3, healthcare. It's a big one.
Yes, it is. And that comes in at 13%. And that means that that's $585 per month.
So that's probably a little low for some,
Yeah.
because you've still got Medicare, and you've got the additional parts of Medicare that you might have to buy. And one thing Tina was saying as we were researching this story, don't be fooled about Canada and say that we don't have any medical health expenses, because we do. For instance, dental care is private in Canada. There's no state-run dental care, although they're trying to bring it in at the moment, but it's so confusing
Yeah.
that a lot of our dentists are not going to opt into the program. So when we go to the dentist, we have to pay out of pocket.
Yeah, and that can mount up. Like if you go for a filling, it can be easily $300 to $400. If you go for a cleaning, it's a couple of hundred. I had an experience a couple of weeks back where I went and thought I was going to have a filling, and unfortunately they ended up having to take the tooth out.
Oh,
and
yanked it out.
I wasn't impressed at all, and so now there's going to have to be a replacement tooth or something, or an implant or something, and that will cost a lot of money. As Norm said too, don't think we don't, because we have to pay for optical, for glasses too. Like Norm has bifocals, and like every time he has these, we're talking $1,200 to $1,300 a pair. So
Well,
for a fancy pair.
Not quite. It's
Oh,
about
okay.
600.
Okay, well, sorry, that was for 2 pairs.
All right.
Sorry.
I'm not allowed 2 pairs.
Yeah.
She won't let me.
Sorry. Last time he went for 2 pairs, it came in at around $1,200 to $1,300. So what we're saying is we do still have expenses here in Canada as well as our US friends, don't we?
So, number 4, transportation.
I think this is kind of a big topic, Norm. The actual amount comes in at $592 per month.
And that's 14% of the monthly budget on transportation. So that could well include maybe car payments.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of ways, once again, like the food waste, there's wasteful use in transportation. So for instance, if you happen to be in the center of Chicago or New York, the chances are a car is a liability, and that you'd be better off using public transport, Uber or Lyft, or rent a car when you need it, because it's a liability garaging a car in a major city and driving is quite expensive and quite stressful.
I think too, Norm, if anybody's looking for different ways to save money on transportation, perhaps when you're looking at buying a car, get a car with regular gas and not premium gas. That can make a huge difference every time you go and fill up at the pumps.
And when you're looking for a place to fill up
yeah.
at the pumps, use the Gas Buddy app that we do.
Yeah, we love Gas
Before
Buddy.
we go out, we just open up the app and take a look, and it knows where you're located because of the location feature in Gas Buddy, and it'll show you all the prices of gas around you. And we can see that and go and save 5 or 10 cents on a litre sometimes.
I think another thing too with your insurance, do make sure that you tell your insurance company when you are retired, because chances are you might be doing nowhere near the mileage that you were doing when you were working. I know when we told our company, we get a really good rate because we really don't drive a lot, do we?
And also bundle your
Yeah.
insurance
Oh,
with
yeah.
your home insurance.
Yeah.
And you should save an additional 10% as well. And that's what we do with our apartment. For our apartment insurance, we bundle it with our car insurance and we save on both.
Ooh, number 5's the biggie,
Oh
Norm.
yeah, throwing your money away on rent.
And that's coming in at a whopping 35% on housing. Ooh, and that is $1,573.
So that may well be all your running expenses of your home. We did find out that 40% of retirees have a mortgage in the US. So
that could
obviously
be in
that
there.
could be mortgage payments as well.
Yeah.
And so there's not a lot you can do about that other than do what we have and downsize to an apartment.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the chances are that's going to be more than 1,500
Yeah,
for
but
rent.
remember this is an average, Norm.
Yes, it is.
So, you know, particularly here in Canada, yes, you could get a rental for that. And I'm sure there are places where mortgages are going to be that. And if they're not, maybe you have to consider moving to a cheaper state or something.
Yeah, and we are in a rent-controlled building, and we often get comments saying that we're so lucky about the rent control, and we are.
Yeah,
we do acknowledge that.
We do appreciate it.
But the shocking thing is that there's 17 jurisdictions, I can barely say that, jurisdictions
Maybe we could call them.
in America
Yeah.
that have rent control.
We were really surprised when we researched that.
New
wasn't
York has
it?
that.
Yeah. And that is a big surprise, wasn't it, Norm? We like surprises.
So if you really, really wanted to control your housing expenses and you did want to rent, perhaps you could go to one of those areas that do have rent control in America. And there's more than just Ontario and Canada that has rent control as well.
So we were wondering, where do you stack up with these numbers? Are you higher or are you lower? Why don't you leave in the comments below? Because we love reading all the comments on, do you think these numbers are out of whack? Are they too high, too low? We would love to hear from you.
And if you've enjoyed this video, I'm going to link to another one down here, which we think you'll find fascinating.
And we hope that everybody is staying safe.
And keeping well.
Until the next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.